Hey guys, it is the 23rd of February, and we are going straight into episode 113 of 4PlayerAnimecast. Welcome to the podcast here. My name is Spire. I am your host for today, and with me on this ride, is my usual compatriots here. Dark, how have you been doing?
Been doing all right.
Uh,
Drinking again because
drink.
I had to
You've
watch
been
questionable series.
you've been the one having to take the bullets here. Well, don't worry. I'm
No, I
not
think
really good.
most of us have to take fucking bullets at this point.
No, yeah, you're right with it. You're right.
And I don't know if you saw in chat, but there were like 5 new shows suggested, and I was like, wow, these are all terrible. I really don't want to do this.
That's what I've been saying, like, from 2 episodes back. Like, ever since ever since maybe the last episode, like, ended, we all had to start, taking on bad series.
I
Alright,
don't
so,
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I still have 3 to 4 more series to talk about.
well, Toast is covering some other series, but, the rest of us have to pretty much take shitty bullets all the time. But anyways, we'll discuss a little bit more about what series you've been watching later. Nier, how have you been doing?
I'm alright. Just
Pretty good.
Playing card games.
All right, getting salty over the ladder, playing card games.
Speaking of card
Yeah.
games,
Yes.
All
All right. Well,
Okay.
Toast made us lose some more brain cells there, but Nier, we'll talk a little bit about one of the I want to say maybe the biggest brand name there for this season. And after that, after this episode, he'll have to start taking some of these bullets that we mentioned too. So we'll see how that goes. And so you'll talk about that a little bit more again in later down the road. And Toast, how have you been doing?
speaking of card games,
Yes.
I pulled near what's the new Portal craft leader again?
Orcas.
Yeah, I pulled her. She's all right.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And that's about it.
So nothing else other than pulling that card in the past 2 weeks there.
Oh, I bought tickets for Heaven's Feel again.
Again. Well, okay, that's good at least. All right, so and you've been pretty also excited about the Fruits Basket remake coming up in about a month, right?
I would if they actually released where tickets yet. I looked on Fandango and it's like, no, we don't have tickets for you. And I'm like, that's not cool.
Okay, so maybe that'll get sorted out in a bit
I'm waiting for
later.
Crunchyroll to release the tickets. Just because you lost the partnership,
Instant tickets.
just because you lost the partnership with Funimation doesn't mean you can slack off in other areas.
I mean, they've been slacking on it ever since that company was officially formed. So, anyways, so again, you'll be talking about your series a little bit down the line, and we should pretty much jump right into it again. This is pretty much smack dab into the latter half of the winter season, episode 7s, episode 8s mostly, right? And we're just going to fall into it. So we'll have a few more episodes of this. We'll have our preview show for spring 2019, and then we'll go ahead and right into that. Hopefully, hopefully we can end this season without having to take too many reviews of, I want to say, unsavory series.
I don't know, man. I still haven't gone through the bulwark. Is that the
Plus,
word?
not everybody can I can review Gotoben, you can review Gotoben, but these two guys over here cannot do that. That's not how.
I mean, one of them,
It's not
one
in
of
their
them
blood.
has to do domestic no kanojo, and I'm not doing it.
To be honest, I'd be the most suited to do it, right? But it's like I don't want to go through that.
If I'm going to do the quintessential quintets, you gotta do domestic.
I don't, dude. Come on. At least, like I
What?
didn't hate like reading Gotoben. I hated reading the domestic Kanajo.
What,
like
well,
that.
what else do you got left there? The mermaid one?
Yeah, I know. I'll think about it. Anyways, moving on. We should just start right off. I'll go first, I guess. And the series I want to cover is Pacharu-san wa Miteiru, or Virtual-san is watching.
That's not an anime.
Well,
Back when I said, "Hey, I want to cover this," you're like, "No, that's not an anime." Then come this episode,
What?
you're like,
I don't
I've
think
never
anyone
said that.
ever said that.
Yeah,
That's not what it said at all.
when I showed up, I was like, "Hey, Spy, let's cover this." You're like, "No, it's not anime."
When you showed up where?
On the
You know.
podcast, and I was like, "Hey, I want to cover this," and Spire's like, "No, it's not anime. It's virtual YouTubers," and I'm like, "It counts."
No. I admit to definitely like shitting on it, but I don't think I ever told you because I said multiple times, literally like, well, I guess I have to cover it, or like,
No, but
whatever, it's-
I wanted to cover it. I'm
Well,
letting you cover it because I have other stuff to cover.
okay, well then that's fine then. I mean, it's not really much to cover, but it's just going over the summary. It's just 12 episode season. It's actually a full 23, 24 minutes, or 18 minutes if you want to cut out the. No, it's actually a full 24 minutes. Never mind. It's a full 24 minutes, which is kind of depressing if you think about it. Fully backed by Durango and produced by Lead Studios, LIDE, which, the only reason the studio is made is to make this series, unfortunately. And as you might have guessed, or as some of you might guess, it's just a series about virtual YouTubers. And I want to preface this. Saying that this is a series about virtual YouTubers is being very charitable. It is being extremely charitable.
But
Like-
Spire,
Yes?
didn't you know who? Do you know who sang the opening song?
Yes, I
Keys
do.
in her eye.
If she didn't, if one of these virtual motherfuckers didn't sing the opening, I would actually be pretty like angry. But
Well,
yeah.
well, are you saying you wouldn't have been more angry if the top not keys in her eye virtual YouTuber didn't appear in it? Because she did.
I mean, I don't think like the way this show pans out. I don't think I care about who exactly comes up in it. But getting back to the subject, again, as I said, calling this a series about virtual YouTubers is being very charitable. It's essentially just 23, 24 minutes of like famous virtual YouTubers, and virtual YouTubers we've talked about obviously before on this channel.
To put it into simplistic terms for most people, it's like
it's just
like,
face rig idol.
It's
It's just
like
face rig idol.
it's the Pop Team Epic anime of virtual YouTubing.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. So it is very, again, as I said, sort of like a WarioWare format where it's like just things are just kind of happening. It's like there are a lot of mini episodes and like there are a lot of just cuts to different scenes and different like ideas, I want to say, again, putting it very charitably, and there are various virtual YouTubers doing different things, but the way this is all like planned out, honestly, this makes Pop Team Epic look like a pacing, like a literary like
the
masterpiece.
Mona Lisa of anime.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it look like fucking. It makes it like look like a Hemingway, like Hemingway wrote it. Like it's so
disjointed.
Yeah, it is very
Well,
disjointed.
that's because you have like what? How many is the cast? Like 30, I think. 30, 20?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the cast. Well, okay, no, I do think the cast size is the problem, but I think the bigger problem is the fact that they just kind of have no idea what to do with these characters, or with the anime in general. So they just kind of threw in virtual YouTubers to do their thing, to literally just wave their hands, flap their arms, just like shake their bodies in front of the screen, and then the virtual YouTuber fans will be like, "What? Okay, sure, yeah, there's my favorite virtual YouTubers," and then they'll just watch the series. Yes, my virtual YouTubers are on TV, and then
Well,
they'll just
Spire, who's your
yeah.
favorite virtual YouTuber? Mine's Mirai Akari. And she's the ringleader of this anime. Apparently.
Can I'm fine with this, having this conversation, but can we push it to a little bit later? Because I want to.
But I mean,
I don't think this.
you're trying to find some semblance of sanity in here, and you have to think of them as, I don't know, the Ginyu Force, I guess.
Ginyu Force, but like with 30 different members.
You gotta think of
Yeah.
them as like this as an idol group, the Ginyu Force.
It is pretty much like.
assign them specific roles. You got Mirai Akari as a Captain Ginyu, and I think what's Shiro? Is she Jace or Birder? No. She's Raccoon. Because you got Tanaka Hime as Jace and Birder.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and
like.
that makes Nekomiya Hinata as Goldo.
Mhm. The thing is, it's like I just feel so. There's like one other piece of news that, there's a piece of news that I will cover later in the news section that is very pertinent to this. But I kind of expected from looking at this series that it would come out to this, although it was actually below my expectations even then. This was actually I set a low bar for this series, and it went below that, which is kind of surprising. But even more kind of, I don't know whether I want to call it disappointing or I want to call it almost scary, is that the way this is setting up, because I still think that this is going to sell in some really stupid sense, right? Obviously, it won't sell necessarily or it won't really get views from the fan base who is from people who are not cognizant of virtual YouTubers at all, but in terms of the merchandise, in terms of BDs, in terms of stuff, in terms of side profits that are not rebroadcasting rights, I think this series will definitely rake it in, because the people who are watching it eagerly are the hardcore virtual YouTuber fans, right? So I think, and those are also the same types of freaks who donate like $100 every hour just to do like YouTube super chat stuff, just to send messages to Shiro or whoever, right? And I think they'll rake it in like that, but it does kind of scare me that there is enough market research to motivate this sort of series. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like somebody just said, "Okay, well, let's just do a virtual YouTube anime without any sort of data or anything," and everyone was just like just started clapping for it. They have had to had some sort of like at least some vague data suggesting, hey, maybe if we did virtual YouTuber anime or something related to it, we'll just get free money. And the fact that they have that sort of data, again, scares me. You guys know what I'm talking about? Because just especially since this is sort of like I don't want to denigrate this series too much, but it is quote unquote an easy way to do anime in a sense, right? You just you already have all of like the models and whatever set up, and the staff, the staff in these related YouTube channels already know how to do all this stuff. So you're essentially just outsourcing most of the work to them, right? But then just but then sort of integrating the efforts together in one, I want to say, location. But if we're going to get more of this, I'm really scared about what might happen or what degenerate things could happen. It's the same thing with virtual YouTubers alone. Like, the initial start of virtual YouTubers was pretty interesting, and then everybody and their mother started being virtual YouTubers, and it started becoming really degenerate, and people made up really stupid themes around virtual YouTuber stuff. But if the same sort of thing is going to happen with just people just creating whatever virtual YouTuber anime because it's just easier and it's already, or a lot of the resources already exist, and a lot of the manpower already exists, that I'm not really about that life. What do you guys think?
I think
Yeah.
think there's an untapped market that they have yet to pull the big guns on.
No, I agree that there's a market. I don't think that this is. I still don't think that the way that they're going is a good idea.
There's still untapped potential here. They haven't pulled out the big guns, the big.
This was probably the biggest gun that they could initially pull out, right? Like, what? They literally have like all the big YouTubers here.
No, they don't. They don't have the big one. They don't.
What? They don't have Kaguya Luna, dude.
Yeah, dude. they don't have the Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Sylvester Stallone of virtual YouTubing out yet.
I don't know. But Dark, I mean, and you guys both also pretty in tune with some of these names. What do you guys think about this sort of series, just kind of in terms of what future production committees might do in the future, with regards to these sorts of virtual YouTuber series?
I hope. What's the what's the Fox one called? Who works at the Combini? What's her name?
I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
No, Jalali. What's her name?
What are you trying to say, Toast?
You don't know about the big three before Mirai Akari pushed the No Jalali out of her spot?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Like, what are you saying though?
They need to do the big three collab because this is basically they popped their surprise a little too early. They're basically doing the Infinity War before they did the first Avengers movie up in here.
So you're just saying that they should just go full degenerate and just do all the biggest collaborations?
They need to do the big three before they did anything else. It doesn't make sense in the timeline.
Not gonna lie.
Okay, doesn't make sense for the timeline.
Yeah. But serious. What do you guys, Near and Dark? What do you guys think about this sort of series potentially popping up a lot more in the future?
I mean, the thing is, right, is that like I think that this kind of series, in a lot of ways, like fails to recognize why they're popular to begin with.
Oh yeah.
And it's like no one's like I don't watch Kazuna Eyes videos because I'm sitting here and I want like a fucking even
just
remotely,
random scenes.
Like,
yeah,
like scenes from an anime or something.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm watching.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching it more for the novelty in general. It's like when you do something completely scripted in that sense, like that kind of loses a lot of its
right. That's the biggest. And it's hard to just be like, well, we'll just run an ad lib thing. Maybe Pop Team Epic was the closest thing that came to it, but that's not going to work out.
The only one who could do a non sequitur ad lib is Kaguya Luna, which is not even in here.
Yeah. And a lot of these, the thing is, it's like a lot of these.
I mean, just in general, though, it's more like, I don't know. For me, at least, the novelty is just like in seeing shit like essentially this character, more or less, like playing a game.
Right.
I mean, for me, some of the best parts is when.
I mean, it's just like a regular sort of let's play channel in a sense, but it utilizes the virtual YouTuber theme to augment the reaction.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why there's a lot of charm in like things like Kazunai playing horror games and like breaking character sometimes.
Right.
But I feel like a series can work, but it has to be more centered around those types of ideas.
Yeah, that
rather
sort of
than, like,
pacing.
trying to, and rather than trying to like do like, oh, we're gonna do this scene and it's gonna be like an absurdist like sort of thing, or we're gonna do this scene, it's gonna be slapstick.
There's supposed to be some overarching storyline involving all 5 of them doing something at school, but I still don't know what they're up to.
Yeah, I have
So-
zero clue.
My question is, they like talk to each other, right? Like they're interacting with each other?
Yes.
Question mark?
There are scenes where they talk to each other, but it's not like some sort of continual, like you can't. It's very hard to chart this sort of interaction network on a chart. You're not. Like,
They have that one scene where they're all together doing one group thing together, and then then after that they have these smaller scenes where they're each doing their own smaller skit.
but even
like,
that skit is
centered
just
around
like I don't know what's going on, kind of. Yeah.
Huh.
So you have to like pick through. You got to pick through the meat in order to get at the juicy insides.
That's what I'm sort of afraid of. Even if they do something a little bit more, more let's play, more spontaneous, like how what Dark suggested, I feel like the production people are, especially since it's just has to be limited to a 24-minute anime. I feel like it's just going to be very. I don't know. I feel like it's just going to end up. Future renditions of this is just going to end up being derivatives of Bachu-san wa Miteiru, where you just throw virtual YouTubers in a box and then they say stuff and then the skit ends and you're like, oh, okay.
And how about the?
See, that's the thing. Like, I was about to say, like maybe like almost like a podcast sort of deal with different virtual YouTubers talking about shit.
Right.
But then I also started thinking, like, no,
I feel
here's the easy strategy. It's just Tokyo Encounter, but with virtual YouTubers.
yeah. Essentially, what I was thinking was selling up the idea that popped up to me is that they could do something like those game shows or those sort of like celebrity TV shows, right? It's like celebrity quiz or celebrity game shows. But instead of the celebrities, obviously they have the virtual YouTubers, right? I think they could do more of that, but maybe like Daki no Sky, right? but with virtual YouTubers, maybe, or something. But yeah, they would need to be very careful about the format. Did you have?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I was trying to ask with like, are they interacting with each other? Like, it's like, what, like in the end, what really is there anything that separates this from just all the other videos that they have on their channels where they're already interacting with another virtual YouTuber? Like,
it's actually, I think those videos on their channels are actually, as Stark mentioned, it's slightly better in a sense because those videos usually have a theme, right? Whether it's they're doing a talk and they're kind of just chillaxing and providing, some background noise stuff, right? Or they're doing a collab playthrough, or they're doing like a quiz together or a competition or something like that, right? And it's very like it's centered around that sort of event, and because it's their own YouTube channel, they have the flexibility of time to do whatever it is. So it could be like an hour, 15 minutes, or it could be 12 minutes, right? But in this sort of series where they're just running through a whole bunch of short skits, they don't really have that much time, so they're just doing these like random skits where they're just kind of toss this sort of premise and they're trying to make this sort of like comedy out of it. And
I think it's actually the opposite of what Spire's saying. In their own each of their own YouTube channels, they have the more flexibility to be like a variety streamer and be more random. In this one, they don't so much. They have they have the main one where they all talk to each other, but then they all separate into their own uh like their own sketch per se. They're confined to this one thing where, let's say, Tanaka Hime, they go explore this goblin cave or whatever, and then you have Murakari's sketch where Tanaka Hime goes in and talks to her about something and consults her, and then you have Shiro's thing where she's a bartender talking about chocolate. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think my phrasing was a little bit mistaken. So I do agree that they can do more like variety stuff, like on their own channels and games. But even like in those videos, like a collab video, knowing that you can do, some, well, a collaboration video where you know that they're going to be doing some X game or they're going to be doing a quiz or whatever, and kind of going through with it, and again having the flexibility, as we both pointed out, of whatever time we need to take to finish the quiz or finish the game or finish the talk or whatever, I think fits that sort of collaboration better than just quote unquote collaboration where they're just doing this sort of weird skit, right? So that's sort of how it pans out. Do you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like thinking about this. It's like, why would anybody watch this over just a collab video, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is again, this is what I'm scared of.
And another thing is,
I agree with Toast.
Not only why would people watch it over, but why would the virtual YouTubers themselves do this, like, and have to go through, all the production and shit just to get something out there, rather than just make a collab video with another virtual YouTuber or several other virtual YouTubers?
Well, because they want to get that sort of like, the greenbacks, right?
Sure, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is the virtual YouTuber cinematic universe.
The issue is, it's like, even at this point, I'm pretty sure, virtual YouTubers are sort of considered a step down from quote unquote actual anime, right? So they want to get in that sort of tier, even if it means the resulting product is necessarily even worse than what they have in their original content channels. Does that make sense?
I guess I think that's a way to like break in, I guess, too. Cause
yeah, exactly.
I was thinking too just now.
We are officially anime now, that sort of thing, right?
Well, not even that. It's like, think about, we said, oh, they don't even have like Kizuna Ai or Kaguya Luna. And it's like, well, yeah, because they don't need to do that at all.
They're
like,
just so big.
Kizuna Ai is given fucking interviews as a virtual YouTuber
to lead a battle angel,
for lead a battle angel. It's like she's fine. Like she doesn't.
She's too Hollywood. Yeah, she's too Hollywood.
She's literally talking to Hollywood stars. Like she doesn't have like these roles in a way to help her along. But we have these other virtual YouTubers that kind of do need that. So I feel like maybe that's why they chose to do it over that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in general, like production-wise, there isn't much of a reason for them to in that way.
Yeah, I just, again, the biggest thing I'm worried about is what sort of Nier asked, like the answer to what Nier asked, which is, why would anybody want to watch this? And I feel like, again, the people who are hardcore into virtual YouTubers will just kind of pick this up, watch it anyways, just because, oh, my virtual YouTubers are on there, and kind of rack up the sales. And in a sense, somewhat similar to how like idol shows and stuff get boosted in terms of viewership, in terms of BD sales, so on and so forth, right? So I think that's sort of how they'll go. But then again, the worrying thing is, if other production studios and other publishers see this and they're like, oh, we might as well just throw out some random garbage virtual YouTuber anime, then where does this all head? And that's what I'm most afraid of. So I think this is a little bit of a scary time. I hope this doesn't become a gateway to other really bad derivative series, but we'll just have to see. So yeah, that was more or less my review of Patsuru-san wa Miteiru, or Virtual-san is
Inspire,
looking.
you haven't answered the most important question.
Yep.
Who is your favorite virtual YouTuber in that show?
In the show, it's Shiro. Shiro has always been one of my most favorite YouTubers.
What about yours, Nier?
God damn.
In the show?
In the show, we have to go down the list.
I don't
The
think he's watched the show.
The only virtual YouTuber I watch is Kaguya-Luna.
Yeah.
What about you, Dark?
I'm a loyalist, dude.
It would
Loyalist.
probably be Shiro, because I think Shiro's like the only YouTuber from that lineup I've ever watched. But I don't even really watch
Yeah,
Shiro
I don't think-
stuff. I only watch.
You don't.
Which is
None
odd.
of you are vouching for Tsukino Mito.
No,
Mito.
Tsukino Mito is, again, can we talk about this a little bit
But
later?
she
But
pokes your eyes out on Halloween, Valentine's Day, man.
well, she is a weed eater, so we'll have to see about that. But anyways, moving on from Patsuru-san wa Miteiru.
Well, I'll just say there's a reason why Mirai Akari's in the center of this.
Mhm.
She's the key to all of this. She's a funnier character than we usually have.
Yeah, I mean, she also kind of carries the energy a little bit. But anyways, the series is what it is. Moving on, I'll do want to, well, do a similar trend. But Toast, do you want to go next?
Dark, you want to go first?
Oh my god.
Sure.
We need
Okay.
we need to do the up and down thing. All right.
No, sure. Dark.
Spire's down.
No,
Yes.
Spire is up. Apparently.
But I'm the up one?
Yeah.
Alright, Dark, go.
I don't know about that. Okay, so I watched a show called Girly Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
I watched 5 episodes of it, I think. And
It is a light novel original.
Is it?
Yes,
Oh.
it is.
I didn't know that. That's very odd. Actually,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
really weird. I thought this was an original because
Yeah, that's what I thought at first, and then I searched.
Before I get to the show itself, it's being done by Satellite, and it
Yes.
has the same director as Symphogear.
Do you know what else had?
Ooh,
You know what else had a Symphogear director? Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds and Yu-Gi-Oh Arc V.
Oh my god.
Wow.
But yeah, so this show is like Symphogear, but like not as good, and with planes instead.
So I was thinking about wait. So they have these call signs, and why are they called Barbie? Barbie 1 and Barbie 2, Barbie 3.
Because now that you said it's a light novel, that guy is, what's the correct term? An Western weeb? What's the term for it?
Oh, dude, he's the cowboy, the meme.
Yeah, sure. He's basically SpongeBob when he was making fun of Texas, except he really actually likes Texas.
Yeah, okay.
So what's the most Western name you can think of for the Japanese audience?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
okay.
It's Rawhide Kobayashi.
Barbie.
But yeah, okay, well that makes I guess that makes sense. But yeah, keep going, Dark.
Anyway, so basically the series starts. You're introduced to the main antagonists of Zai.
Mhm.
Even though the subtitles have them as XI, it's ZAI. By the way, it's not XI. Why they're subbed as XI? It doesn't make any sense. XI is
Is
G.
it? Do they actually call Zai, or is it she,
I'm
or what is it?
Pretty
It's
sure
'cause
it's. I'm almost certain it's called Zai.
yeah, because there are like some Chinese
Because
like
even on
things in
even on Mall, it's like written as Zai,
No, okay,
Yeah,
keep going.
which is not XI. for all you people out there. That's not how you say that. But
Yeah, that's
yeah.
okay.
So you're introduced, like the main character is on a boat for some reason.
Mhm.
I think it's because they're refugees, like him, his friend who's Chinese, I think,
Mhm.
and they're refugees going to Japan from Taiwan, or at least she is, and these like weird alien plane things, the Zai, are like attacking people
Mhm.
over the ocean, and it's like slowly getting more and more closer to Japan. So very much like the noise from Symphogear.
Mhm. Right, right,
Very
right.
faceless. And much in a very, very similar fashion, you find out that the planes that are able to shoot them down are made out of broken parts of the Zai. Which leads to a
Okay.
whole thing because the
Yeah,
main
yeah.
character like hates the Zai and wants to kill them all because they killed his parents.
You
His
mean
mom used to be like a fucking pilot, like a trick pilot, and she got killed when the Zai showed up.
Right, right, right.
So he is a talented pilot, but he was too afraid to fly solo. So that's kind of like the setup of like he's a really good pilot, and another thing that's very similar to Symphogear is like the whole brainwave bullshit. So the pink-haired girl syncs her brainwaves with him.
Right,
so?
right, right.
So this is
This
Darling in
stuff.
the Franxx, but with airplanes.
Not really, because the
No, it's
pink-haired
more
girl isn't
Symphogear.
even. Oh, actually, kind of, because pink-haired girl isn't human, by the way.
There
None
you
of the
go.
girls
There
are
you go.
human.
Yeah.
In the picture, the only girl that's human is the one with purple hair, and that's his refugee. Um, all the other ones are actually parts of the plane, essentially. They're
Mhm.
they're like a humanoid projection that can operate separately from the plane. The way
Mhm.
they describe it is like like a human body doesn't distinguish its brain as a separate part from the rest of the body.
Right, right.
Um, and yeah, it kind of goes from there. 5 episodes in, they only just started piloting the plane, so that was a thing.
Oh God, why?
Yeah, you're in it for the
The
long haul.
pacing is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that pacing is bad.
there's surprisingly a lot of like, comedy slice of life bits.
I mean,
Like all of episode
yeah.
2 is slice of life.
The issue is, it's like if the MC was a girl, I feel like they
No
might have
one,
just
no,
gotten into the action
and
faster.
no one would care if it's a girl unless you like the Yuri stuff. Since they made it a dude,
Yeah.
now it has to be an emotional slash romantic connection.
I mean, that's not really that true though, right? Because that was Symphogear.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Symphogear did
no.
it better.
But Symphogear
I'm
definitely had a
not
faster
saying it
pacing,
didn't, but
right?
Symphogear has, yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that that's a result of the male character. Like Symphogear had a lot of drama, a lot of
Yeah, it did focus a little bit
slower
more on the
build
drama.
up. It just
And some
wound up.
sweet fight scenes.
Symphogear started faster, but was still probably just as slow in a way.
That's true.
Um,
It had a lot of drama in the middle, and then you're like, okay.
yeah, like it started you up, but then it like, it's like, oh, Hibiki has Gungni.
Yeah.
Like you get that almost right at the beginning, but
Like Chris has all these
it's
problems and so on.
yeah, it's like it still has 12 more episodes anyway, so
Right, exactly.
we're gonna get to the fucking end at the same. But yeah, so I've only watched up to the point where they introduce an eagle blonde. Uh, there's
Barbie
not like
3?
there's
2?
there two, I think, and then three, I assume, is a girl. Um, but yeah, I don't really know what to make of it all that much, to be honest with you, because it's like it's okay. It's got decent audio visuals. The CG is there.
It is a thing that exists.
It isn't. It ain't the worst, but it ain't the best. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no, it is not that great at all.
I mean, it's satellite. They're not going to put that much money into
Yeah.
that sort of CG thing,
I mean,
or
they're
at
not
least
gonna
not
put
that I've
that much
seen.
into this anyway. It's
Yeah.
like they just finished Symphogear, and now they got another one coming in like 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
So the major thing is, I would say it has a pretty decent soundtrack. Has a pretty decent opening. I like the ED a lot. I think the ED is pretty cool. Audio visuals, like other than the planes, pretty standard,
Hmm.
pretty okay. The actual fights in the planes were fine. There was literally only one scene so far that I liked in the fights in the plane. That's the unfortunate part, is that like since we've only had like one sort of a decent fight, like a lot of it was just, camera tracking, firing missiles and shit.
Okay.
But the cool part was when he used the what's it called, as an air brake. You're not supposed to do that. I forget what it is. I forget what the hell they're called. But it's like the flaps on the sides that are supposed to just go with it.
Hmm.
And he just he asks the girl to turn them, like full 90 degrees as an air brake. And she's like, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. He's like, just do it.
Yeah, that would kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they brake in the air. And then they charge the other thing. They charge the Zygon and fucking gun it down. Anyway, like it was pretty cool. It looked pretty cool.
So at least it's like it's not completely just like it's not completely low effort, right?
Yeah,
Because I kind of
that's the
came
thing. Like episode 1 was terrible. It was awful. It was episode 1 was like the worst introduction to anything. And I was like, this is fucking garbage. And then like episode 2 I got through and I was like, why? Okay, actually no, this isn't that bad. And then 3 came around. All right, getting there. And then 4 came around with the first fight. And I was like, okay, now we're getting to the part where it's like so stupid and cheesy that I love about Symphogear to begin with.
right, and that's the important part.
It's not quite at that level of Symphogear, but you can see that sort of shit going on. Like I forget what he says. Like when he wants to pilot with the girl, the director is like, "That's insane. You can't do that." But I love a good gamble. Go. Like
Sooner or later, he's gonna be piloting on top of the plane. Like he's not gonna be even in it. He's gonna be like
yeah,
riding on it, like
he's gonna be
surfing on it.
standing on top of the plane doing like the fucking Kamina pose,
Yeah.
and the director's gonna be like, "That's insane. Do it."
Do it. Oh my god. But do you think? Well,
Here's the question. Here's the question, Dark. How many Etano circuses have there been?
What? I don't know what that is though.
The thing where they shoot all the missiles and lasers at the thing, and then they dodge all cool like.
Oh, there hasn't been that yet.
Yeah. The Macross Missile Massacre, I think it's
They
also
haven't
called.
done. They haven't done.
But
They haven't done anything quite like that yet.
but they're in jets, right? You have to do it at least once, or they open full salvo and then you dodge all of it. Really?
well,
I'm
we still have some episodes
sure,
left.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm only on episode 5, so
They're also they're trying to. I like how at this point. I mean, they're obviously putting money into this upcoming season of Symphogear, right? XV or whatever, right?
yeah.
But it is pretty funny how even all the off, like in during quote unquote the off time, right? The off season where they're not doing their, you know, I want to say yearly or bi-yearly Symphogear. They're just like, all right, do you know what Satellite needs? More Symphogear.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, guys, we need another Symphogear.
Yeah.
Like,
All of our artists just want to do more Symphogear. Sorry, guys.
directors just sitting around. Man, I got all these ideas. They won't all fit into the next 30 seasons we have planned of Symphogear.
Yeah. All right, it's like adapt the closest thing to Symphogear, and then just put all these really like useless scenes into it. Oh Jesus! At least it's a good watch. Do you have any last words for the series?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you like Symphogear, it might be worth a shot. It's got some
Yeah.
okay slice of life, some okay, like it's not great, but
Hmm.
it's definitely better than I thought it would be. And
Okay.
and if it gets dumber, like extreme as time goes on, all the better.
Yeah. I hope it's. I hope the. I have sound. The thing is, because it's like the Symphogear people have their own. I do want to check it out, but the Symphogear series has its own like composer, right? Like he did the OST, he did Music songs, so on and so forth. A different group of people are doing this OST. What did you think about the OST, sort of, and like opening stuff? Was it okay?
I think it's pretty alright. I think some of the songs are pretty good. It's
Okay.
weird that you say that because now that I'm thinking of it, I'm like, this kind of sounds like Symphogear, but like not as
Right. So
it's like it's not quite as good, but it's still pretty good.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I kind of definitely this place I've Sound is also a big place for producing music, so it'll be probably nice. But I do wish that they had brought in Symphony people and just forced them to make the Girly Air Force OST too. That'd been pretty good.
And it's like,
But,
how can we fit vocals into this now too?
yeah, how can we fit Nanamiske into this? Can we just have her sing randomly in the middle
It's like, what if they sang while they flew?
while the MC is just singing like it's like a Disney show now?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like,
jeez.
listen, we can't actually just make Symphogear again.
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, thank you for the review. This is Girly Air Force. Again, by Satellite, it is pretty similar to a Symphogear, but with a male protagonist, interacting with the various sort of like action girls and stuff like that. If you do like Symphogear or types or more like cheesy series of that type, please do check it out. Now we'll move on to Toast for real this time.
Well, since Dark doesn't like girls, time to talk about a real.
Yeah, okay.
Time to talk about a real men series. I watched.
You watched what?
I watched. Oh no, this is the wrong one. I watched.
It's just that good.
I watched Puso Comi. Yay!
We're doing this one first.
Yeah. Sorry, you know what Puso Comi is, right?
Is it? Oh my god!
We
Is
didn't,
it-
we didn't talk about it on the list, but it was there, so we watched it. I watched it.
It's not. It's not even. It's just a series of ONAs, right? About Phantasy Star Online.
What the heck's an ONA?
It sure
On
is.
the whole.
Sure.
No. Sure.
yeah,
Let's go with that.
Oh, original net animation, right?
Yes.
Then you could say the same thing about Virtual Sama Miteiru. That's what it is too. But anyway.
Sure.
Puso Comi is about the adventures of Dark. I don't remember their names. I only remember Mitarashi, who's a twin tail with the thing, and then
I
the
think
cast.
Hayate. I think it's Hayate, right?
I don't.
Is it? Let me see. I don't know. Their names are above their heads. It shows.
Tete-chan or something?
Uh,
Oh, I don't
keep
know.
going. I'll find it.
So you've been watching this Fantasy PSO
Okay,
too?
Tetsuya and Mitarashi.
Yeah, what he said.
Okay.
And they're hijinks on PSO2. That's about it.
It's
So
the definitive PSO2 and
It is actually
Yeah.
the definitive PSO2 anime. It's not the thing.
don't don't look at PSO2 the animation. It's you'd rather watch this, right?
You'd rather just play episode 3 if you want to play PSO2 the animation. But yeah, it's about
episode 4.
episode 4.
That's
Yeah, 4.
4. I know you might have forgotten about episode 5 already, but
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they do PSO2 stuff like how Mitarashi's been playing the Phantasy Star Online series since 2000, I believe. Yeah,
yeah.
and then she's all like, I've been playing it since it started. And then the other chick, the cast is like, I don't remember. I'm never gonna remember her name. She's all like, you said you're 19, right? Well, that's me.
She's not a cast.
Why is she wearing that?
She's an elf.
What?
Because that's the gal strike, dude. That's the gal striker outfit. Like I have that on my human character.
Well, then why are you wearing that? You're not a cast.
Yeah, I know. That's not a cast outfit. That's just a general outfit.
It's kind of ugly, don't you think?
No, I think it's pretty cool. It's got some cool joints on it.
But humans don't have joints.
What
It's
the
cast.
fuck does
Alright,
this have
can
to
we-
do with the show you watched?
Alright, can we get back to
Actually, everything. Because this is the
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff that PSO2 players talk about on a daily
so,
basis. This fits
is
right in with the theme of this series.
so this is just a series about characters just kind of doing PSO2 stuff, right? Like short.
Yeah.
Is
Have you read the official Fate Grand Order manga? It's basically this, but it PSO2. My favorite is in episode 2 where Mitarashi's all like, "Oh no, it's 4:43 a.m. I have work to do." But then there's this EQ that popped up in 2 minutes. I better go get ready for it. And then the other chick's
Oh.
like, "Don't you have to go to work in 2 hours?" And I'm like, "So? That's so me."
I don't know. I thought in episode 1 they do a pretty good gag where one of them tells the other one that if she eats too many sweets, she's gonna get fat.
Oh, yeah.
And then she goes, "Well, maybe I should apologize." And she apologizes. And goes, "Oh no, I didn't think anything too big of it." And her character shows up and has like a super thin waist,
Oh yeah, that was good.
like impossibly small.
And then there was the one where Mitarashi's all like, "It's Valentine's Day. What are you gonna do, Red Girl? You're gonna wear a lewd outfit and use a lewd lobby action and take some pictures?" And she's like, "Shut up! How'd you know?"
So is this just released by the PSO2 people, just like as
Yes.
a side hustle? Okay.
They played it in game. They're playing it in game as a live movie, and you get
Oh my god.
and you get a try boost if you watch it.
That's pretty funny, actually. That's actually becoming pretty, layers. That's like layers of layer shit right now.
Why did they do that instead of giving us? They should have given us like whenever they released the PSO2, the animation every week. They should have played it in game.
22-minute fucking
Yeah, just have to
concert
sit there, like
I mean,
so that we can get our boost.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been fine.
It would have been pretty entertaining, I will say that.
just have a whole bunch of people sit around.
Everyone in the lobby just roasting the entire episode, though.
That would have been really fun to do, but they didn't. Wasted opportunity.
Oh my
But yeah,
god.
Puso Comi's pretty cool. If you put in the secret phrase, you get Puso memories. You can turn them in for sweet Puso Comi loot. I turned in 6 of them and got the lewd lobby action they were talking about in episode 6. It's neat.
God damn it. Alright, well,
It
that's
also has
pretty
pretty
interesting.
interesting stuff.
Yeah,
The
so
pretty interesting.
it's cool. And speaking of other cool stuff, I also watched this good show that Dark missed out on because we were Dark was all like, "I don't know what to watch this week," and I'm like, "Here's 2 choices, pick one." And he's like, "I choose Girly Air Force," and I'm like, "You got the short end of the stick," because I watched the Circlet Princess.
What the fuck? Why are you talking about 2 series?
Because
We've been over this. That's what he was gonna do because one of them was a short.
Okay.
Puso
Red
Komi's
chat, you
3
know.
minutes, man.
Okay.
We also didn't really talk about that at all.
Yeah, I don't. I was like, is this how we're just gonna go over your section? But okay, keep going with Circlet Princess.
I mean, it would be unfair to you guys if I just covered a 3-minute anime. So I gotta do it with the real one now.
The real.
The whole mono
Well-
Desuyo, as
Well,
some people would
would
say.
you
Anyway,
would you call Circlet Princess a real series too? I don't know about that, but okay, keep going.
apparently, Circlet Princess is based off a DMM game. Like
Yes.
like Kantai Collection.
Well, there are a lot of
I don't
DMM
know.
games, but keep going.
It's about this the pink haired girl. What's her name? Sasaki Yuka.
Yuka, yes.
Did you know that's just 1 letter off from Sasaki Yuya, who is the main protagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V?
Oh my god, keep going with fucking Circlet Princess, please.
Which I think that's a blatant. They're trying something here. That was my first suspicion of this show, and I'll let you know I was correct about it, but I'll go into that
Well,
later. But anyway, she's from the country, as all main protagonists that move to the city are.
well, I mean, it's not like you moved from city to another city, and then
That's
like,
not true at all. Okay, you can move from one city to another.
no.
And
It's not like wow, I'm having a completely different experience by moving from one city
is-
to.
that is actually
That is a lie too.
that is actually what happens
because
in this show.
New York
Spire.
is very different from Boston. I'll have you know that.
Yeah. Anyway, she's from like this backwater country village, and she's all like, she moves to the big city, and she's like, wow, it's so cool. Everything is AR, because in this reality, this is like the future where everything is AR and VR now. So they got this sweet circlet on their wrist, like the jewel thing that everyone uses. It's
Okay, so
And it-
they're playing this game called Circlet
No.
Bout,
no,
right?
no. I have to set up. The lore Spire.
Oh,
So
So, can we
Host,
not?
You've already covered
Host.
one series. Please do this quickly.
Yeah.
So in the future, they got these things like that do this AR thing where, and it's part of everyday life. And then their new sport comes out. It's called Circlet Bout. And
Okay.
it's basically what happens when you combine Yu-Gi-Oh! Solid Vision technology with the AR module from, I guess, Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale or Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions, and they basically fight. That's about it. Dark, you've done the PvP in PSO2, right? What's it called?
Oh, the Arcs battle.
Yeah, Arcs. It's basically the Arcs battle thing where they enter the I'm just gonna call it the duel arena because they enter like this VR chamber and then it projects an area and they're like they all summon their fancy basically PSO2 photon weapons and hit each other with it and
So
very
it's
basic
essentially a
battle.
sport. It's essentially like a sports slash like action battle academy series, but with the virtual reality overlay, right? Is how this goes.
They call it mixed reality, which is
Er,
virtual reality with real reality, but that's a fancy way of saying
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh
It-
stuff, yeah.
yeah,
Like what you said, yeah.
it's a hologram projectors basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So in the first episode, the chick's all like, "Oh, I'm gonna check this out," and then she meets the top dog, the ace of spades. I don't know.
well, is it
The big
what I'm wondering?
person in there? And then she somehow she ends up in the battle with the ace person, and she's holding it really well until the ace person does some weird hack thing, this ultimate move that breaks the system. So their first battle ends in a tie. And then she's all like, "Hey, you're pretty cool, newbie. I want to fight you again." She's like, "Wow, my first experience with Circle Bout was so cool. I want to fight her again." That's her main motivation for being a
Well,
Circlet Bout fighter.
well, what I'm wondering, so is the rest of the series is like I don't know, ooh, is this supposed to be uh, uh like C3 Boo? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the survival game stuff.
Mm, it counts as a sports manga, so it counts as sports. So I guess C3 Boo, where you got to make it the Circlet Bout team to fight
Well,
against the
what
other Circlet Bout teams. So
the reason why
in order to get to the Circlet Bout championship to fight the Circlet Bout champion, I don't know.
the reason why I put up C3 Boo specifically was that um it's like it has that like sports team veneer kind of thing, like girls doing sports team stuff, but then it kind of just chucks in the drama in the middle, right? So that's
Yes.
why I was pointing out.
So far, like it's only up to episode 6, but
Mhm.
I only watched up to episode 5 because I think starting at episode 4,
Mhm.
the translators stopped translating it and it was going.
What?
No, it's
They
Oh
just
yeah,
gave
this
up?
is where it gets good. I know about.
Yeah, because like the first 3 episodes, they're fine. They're well translated. All the grammar's correct. But starting from episode 4, we start to get some. It started being translated in Spanish for some reason.
What?
But then you know, I do hablo español, but I'm not gonna sit there and try to comprehend 2 languages at once while I try to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into English. So what happens was they
Wait,
started
did they?
they started converting the Spanish into to English robot subs. So you get
Right,
some
right,
weird
right.
you get some weird subs like so, and it's kind of.
Oh my god.
Let me.
What a,
I got it. Where's my picture?
I can predict how bad it would be, but that is an interesting way to go out.
Yeah,
Got the twigs.
it's like
Pretty much.
how am I supposed to understand it now, where some of the subs are even overlapping? Like-
I don't think it's showing up on the
The
screen.
yeah, the
It's
subtitles.
just-
So I'll just post them like it. They
Yeah,
like
post online.
one of
Copy.
the episodes was named Sister Complex or whatever, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
but then the Spanish robot subs turned it into the the complex sister complex, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
Hey,
I
do
don't-
not
I
be
don't know.
fingering everything.
I don't know,
Can't tell
man.
me what to do.
So it added a layer of funny to it that I was not supposed to, because these past few episodes they just formed their team and now they're introducing the drama of this girl where
Right.
her sister was the leader of their team that led them to the championship, and now little sister's not that good, but she's got to find a way to get good, and then
So
whatever.
does that sort of drama sound like the type of thing that'll last for the entire series, or do you think they'll have? Do you think it'll end in like 2 or 3 episodes and then kind of loop
They
sort of mini
basically
arcs?
they basically went through everyone's past trials and tribulations that prevent them
Mhm.
from forming a team now. So all they gotta do is start fighting the other teams.
Okay, so you think this will kind of resolve itself pretty quickly, and then they'll
Yeah.
go into the tournament arc more, and then there'll be more
I'm
drama
waiting for
there.
the tournament arc. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The
Okay.
one
So it's
the one thing weird about this series is that I've only seen one dude in this series, and this is the old man principal. The rest is
men
all
don't
girls.
exist. Yeah,
I mean,
men don't exist.
there's
Yeah,
only
because it's supposed to be princesses. They can't be exposed to men.
the weirdest thing is one of the princesses is the Japanese voice of Vegeta for some reason,
Hmm.
and I'm like, what? But it turns out it's a princess AI that was built
Hmm.
into the main character's circlet after she fought the chick
Mhm.
way back when. So you got Vegeta yelling at the main character to, you know, in his Vegeta voice. It's 100% Vegeta. He even says like the same mannerisms.
Right.
It's kind of funky. I like that. It's like if Yami Yugi was yelling at Goku all the time, kind of thing. Because you know, kind of like that. Because this is a mix of everything good. So you gotta have the funny secondary character in here. So I guess they somehow. How much did they pay Vegeta to be in this anime? I don't know. What? I don't know what this series is, but it's all right in my book.
Okay.
Okay, so that's pretty. At least, at least. I mean, from what you're describing, it's not like it sounds any worse necessarily than again what I like standard like
It
girls
knows,
in
yeah.
sports club doing stuff, and plus a little bit of drama again, like how I mentioned C3 Boo. As long as they don't go too ham, you know what I mean? Or maybe something like a 2 car.
Yeah,
right?
that'd be a better one. Two car.
Yeah, exactly,
Or
exactly. Yeah,
what's
exactly.
what's the volleyball one?
Hanebado?
Yeah, there you go. It's along
It's
those
not
lines.
volleyball at all. By the
No,
way,
wait, no, it's not. Fuck.
Badminton.
Fuck. Sorry.
Beach volleyball.
You're thinking
Which
of
one? How to kind of receive.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. Sorry.
Both start with H. Whatever.
Japanese
the same
Japanese
season.
things all sound the same. Okay.
But yeah,
Yes,
it's the
yes.
right mix of hey, we look like PSO2 because we're in the future, but we're not. Mixed in with hey, we got Yu-Gi-Oh! Solid Vision, except we're not. Mixed in with that stuff, so yeah, I kind of like this series. It's all right.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Am I gonna finish it? Probably.
Okay. Well, I mean,
even with the subs.
you're gonna brute force the
I
Spanish,
have to, yeah.
which she translates something. Yeah. But hopefully somebody will pick it up. It's not like complete garbage.
But yeah, it's all right.
Okay. It's slightly okay.
Would I
Yeah.
recommend it? Not really, but this just hits all the specific buzzwords.
If you're
that I
into
like.
this kind of stuff, like if you're into watching this kind of stuff, yeah, do check it out.
I'd,
But
I'd
again,
recommend this over Girly Air Force, by the way.
well,
Yeah.
there are different tastes for different folks. But anyways, thank you, Toast, for helping to review Circlet Princess as well as Puso ni Comi, right? Or the Fantasy Star, Fantasy Star Online 2, the web manga adaptation into webcomic or whatever, or into web anime, ONA. Thank you for helping covering those two. And last but not least, we are going to cover Nier, Promised Neverland.
Near the entire podcast is riding upon you.
Kind of feels like it at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. We're like me Toast was like talking about ups and downs, but I feel like we've had like 3 down-ish. Like,
I don't know what you're talking about. I like mine. That's an up.
Yeah, but Toast, the way you talk about this show is like, yeah, it's pretty shit. I love it.
I love it.
What?
Hey, at least Toast is honest with himself. We all gotta aspire to be like Toast.
It
sometimes.
hits my
You gotta-
buzzwords, man.
Your buzzwords.
Okay.
We all gotta be like
That
Toast
goes.
sometimes. Yeah.
Just locks into that algorithm.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. Anyways, keep going here.
Yeah. So I watched Promised Neverland, which you might have heard of it. I don't know. Maybe.
Is it? I think it won some awards. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, it definitely won at least a couple awards.
Also known
Oh,
in
I see.
Japanese as Yakusoku no Neverland, or
Yeah.
also known as the show where everybody's face is 20% smaller than it really needs to be.
I was gonna say also known as small face, big head.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the when Dio Media and to a lesser extent Studio Dean used to do some series a couple of years back where they would make all the faces like super like narrow or like super small, like they were like sticks of bubblegum.
Yeah. Just the show style is a little weird. But so Promised Neverland is a mystery thriller series with the basic premise of it's a bunch of kids in a orphanage, and immediately they discover that the orphanage is actually a human meat factory or farm, and they are basically being harvested like one by one, and they got to figure out how to escape.
Hmm.
And it's a thriller in a sense that the caretaker that they have, or Mama as they call her, pretty much knows one of them, like is at least one of them is trying to escape, and so the idea is the caretaker is trying to prevent them from escaping, but she doesn't want to tell. The mother doesn't want to tell like the HQ or whatever that one of them knows when is trying to escape, because when that happens, then they have to like get rid of the kid immediately, but they don't want to get rid of the kid because the kids that are escaping are quote unquote prime stock, right?
Right.
And the idea is that they ship them out. The prime stock gets shipped out on their 12th birthday, because apparently that's when they taste the best or whatever.
So
It's like meat. It's the meat. Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
the A5 Wagyu kind of thing.
Children, the Wagyu children.
Yeah, sure. And it's revealed in the first episode that the reason they're being farmed is because the outside world is pretty much an entire like society of demons or like these weird monsters, and they just they just eat children as monsters do. But yeah, the basic premise is pretty much, pretty simple, right? Sort of like a get out or die thing, and
Right.
it throws all these characters in the typical thriller mystery stuff where it's like this character has these motives and this character has these other ulterior motives, and so they team up together for a common goal, but then one of them is deceiving the other, kind of stuff.
Right.
It's all all the threads cross and stuff like that. And
Mm.
normally a series like this, they're usually pretty bad, right? Because honestly, a lot of writers aren't able to they aren't really able to write multiple character motives like happening at the same time and have it pull it off properly.
Mhm.
But this series actually does it, so it's pretty good. Probably the reason it's so fucking popular, right?
Who's your favorite small face, big forehead?
I don't know, Norman, I guess. He's kind of like the main driving force of the plot. But what was I saying? I think so when I was looking into the staff of this, I noticed that the director and the script and series composer is actually they both worked on what was it?
Symphogear?
Subate ga F ni Naru,
Ah.
which was a show I covered
Mhm.
quite a while ago, back when it first aired. That was also a mystery thriller and was also very, very good. So I think that's a pretty good reason as to why
Mhm.
this series is quite well paced. It's quite well directed. All the interactions are quite nice. The director is also, he's worked on a lot of stuff. He's worked on.
It's also done by essentially very similar people, right? Because Supetega F Naru was A1, and this was Cloverworks, right?
Yeah, this is Cloverworks, which was formerly an A1 studio.
Right. So there have to have been some overlap.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the same people are working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the director's, he's been in the industry for a very long time. He's worked on stuff like Elfen Lied and what was it? Sora no Oto,
Mm-hmm.
pretty good series. Assuming Elfen Lied is to your taste. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say now, really, because like
So, what kind of demons are these?
weird, mysterious ones. So the demons aren't really like an antagonistic force in the first arc, from what I understand, because from what I've heard of the manga, it basically the first arc is them escaping, and then I guess the other arcs are them, after they're out, they kind of have to avoid the demons, right? And they have to actually get to
The Promised Neverland. Yeah.
right? But yeah, so the demons aren't really like, they're shown, but they're not really doing anything, right? They're kind of just like, yeah, I want to eat children,
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. But
That's the thing I was gonna say. Did you mention or rather in the show, are they voiced yet and given lines and stuff?
yeah, they just speak Japanese.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's one of the things that I kind of liked about from what I saw of them, that they just have very sort of like regular dialogue in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of set the demons up as just like another. I mean, in a way, they kind of just set them up as like just people, right? But instead of human being, or instead of like cows, it's human beings, right? Um, so it's, I guess, kind of like a weird just dynamic shift. But yeah, the demons they're not really presented as like, you know, just big evil monsters that just kill everything in sight. They obviously have some sort of society going on the outside, and yeah, but they're not really a big driving force, at least not yet in the anime.
Yeah, I think it's so in terms of again going back to the audio visuals, which you did give a little bit of a review earlier on. What did you think about it?
I mean, it's a good looking show, other than some of the style choices, right? It's not like it's not an action heavy show or anything, because again, it's a fucking mystery thriller.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like yeah, exactly,
Um,
exactly. It's like it creates that tension in sort of a la like Quiet Place kind of thing, where it's like it's things that you don't see, right?
yeah.
Like Bird
There's
Box.
there's a lot of shut the fuck.
Keep going.
There's a lot of there's some really really good shots where like they'll have in the background you can hear like a clock ticking, and then they'll show like the pendulum of the clock on the wall like moving back and forth, and then they'll go to a camera that's like facing the character or two characters, and the camera will actually swing back and forth like between the two characters' faces, as like you can hear the clock ticking in the background, and like that, that's a really really interesting shot to do. They have a lot of, it's just like it's really well directed. A lot of shots of just really uh eerie angles and stuff.
Can you give us an example of Sakuga?
I mean,
uh,
I could like
yeah, no, I
one of
can't.
the one of the bits where one of the story bits of like them, because the plan is to get all of the kids out, right? And there's like 32 kids or something, and the plan that they came up with to like train to be able to get out without being detected is to play tag, right?
Right.
And that physically trains the kids, and they'll teach them like tracking skills and stuff, because it's all forested area or whatever in the orphanage. So there's a lot of running shots and stuff like that, climbing up trees and whatnot. But yeah, other than that, it's not a very motion heavy series. But when the series does decide to get a little faster paced, like it doesn't look bad, right? It's a good looking show.
Right.
This again, the style's a little weird because like everyone's face is like way too small for their head.
It's that. Why do you think they're so tasty at that age, Near? It's because they have yet to grow the full face.
Yeah, they've yet to expand their faces at the age of 12, as all children do.
You have to wait till they're at least 18 or 16, whatever the ripe age is. It depends on whether
Yeah,
you're
to
male
pick
or
them.
female.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I mean, I don't want to like spoil the entire plot, because again, it's a mystery series, right? So if I start going into too many details, it's like, well, why even watch it? But you know, again, it's one of those series where like there's a lot of characters in the show. There's the three main characters, right? And they all have separate motives, right? Like the quote unquote main character, the girl Emma, she's presented as a bleeding heart, naive girl who she's the one who wants to get every kid in the orphanage out, right? But then the other two male leads, they're a little more cynical. But the one guy, Norman, like in the first episode, or I think it's the second episode, he says that like he's in love with Emma, and because of that, even if the plan of getting everybody out is impossible, he'll go with it because like, that's what she wants. And then the other character, Ray, he's like that's impossible. Like, I don't want to be part of a plan that's just gonna get everybody killed anyway, right? And then it's they reveal later, why the other characters feel the way they do. They bring these other two more supporting characters into like the planning group. And then of course there's the two quote unquote antagonists, which is the mom, who's like trying to prevent them from escaping without essentially just straight up blowing her cover and being like just straight up saying, I know who you are, and like I'm just gonna fucking kill you, right? It's like a game of cat and mouse or whatever. And then the mom brings in this sister crone, who is a mildly racist depiction of a black lady. And
How
she,
racist?
I mean, it's like she's pretty much looks like a fucking Boondocks character. So.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that was pretty interesting.
And she has her own motivations. Essentially, she wants to become a mother, right? Like a head of a one of the farms, and her goal is essentially to prove that some of the kids are trying to escape, and then report it to HQ, so that way the mom gets like demoted or whatever, and then she gets to take over the plant, right? So there's all these different characters, and they've all got all these different motivations, and they sometimes work together, they sometimes work against each other. Some of them are like saying, yeah, I'll do this, but really, they're planning on doing something else. And normally that all falls flat on its face, but so far 7 episodes in, it hasn't yet. And it's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason this show is like the most popular series this season, I think. But yeah, it's pretty good. Also, every character in this show is voiced by a girl. So that's cool.
So, what I'm kind of like curious about is like a lot of these things, not just in different manga, but also in stuff like indie games almost, right? They use children kind of making these decisions, kind of in a sense journeying through stuff, right?
Yeah.
To set up both sort of this interesting contrast between these sort of intelligent decisions they have to make and them being a kid, and to also contrast the realities of the scary things that are going on versus the innocence of the children, right? So two sort of like dissonances, right? Both in the decision making and in just the abject realities of the setting. I mean, obviously this sort of does give value, but do you think this sort of, I guess, I don't want to make this too much of a general question, but what do you think about this sort of like tool, I guess, in a sense? And do you think it really gives, do you think this is a significant part of why specifically Promised Neverland also sort of got this sort of boost?
It's interesting, right? Because
think about this in a more like, even like Darling in the Franxx sort of setting where they're all much like, I want to say older, right?
Yeah. So the interesting thing about Promised Neverland is the 3 main characters. They're the oldest kids at the orphanage, right? And the reason they're the oldest kids is because the quote unquote prime stock is essentially a kid that has apparently reached the age of 12 and is also a fucking genius, right? Because apparently the brain is the best tasting part of a kid, and the smarter they are, like, the more developed their brain is, the better it tastes, right? And so it establishes early on that they give these kids like these rigorous tests and stuff, like every couple months or something. And
right.
the kids that get perfect scores, like, they are the only ones that get to live to like 12. If a kid gets bad scores, they get shipped off at like 6 or something, right?
Right.
And they're considered mediocre product. So it immediately sets up that the three main characters that are essentially all trying to outwit both the antagonist and each other are like fucking super geniuses, right?
Right.
So I think the dynamic of them being like the main characters being children isn't really too important in this series, but the dynamic of everybody they're trying to save being children is the more important one, I think. Because
Right.
because the conflict of trying to save all the kids is that all the kids, they trust the mother, and they wouldn't believe like for a second that they're all like livestock, right? And that the mom is selling them off, right? Because what kid is going to believe something like that, right? And so only like the really smart kids are the ones that are like really trying to play this game. And so I think I guess in a sense almost like the suspension of disbelief, or like a lot of people will watch shows like this and be like, how is a kid going to make decisions like this or plans like this, right? But Promised Neverland immediately sets out to be like, yeah, by the way, these kids are like fucking Einstein, right? Like 300 IQ super geniuses, and they're all trying to outwit each other. So I think that is a good good thing on this series' part, to just kind of it's the dynamics there, but it's not there for the main characters, right? You know what I mean?
Right. It is. So so you do think that it kind of does sort of all fit together pretty, like, decent, like the way they actually set up the way the characters specifically are acting in a much more sort of enhanced manner.
Yeah, I mean they're certainly more mature than most kids would be, but they're also much smarter than most kids would be, right?
Right.
So I think I think the way the series handled it was very smart.
Okay. Yeah, because it again integrates back into, I want to say, their risk rewards for being that smart in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So their
Or
heads
the
are so
risk.
big, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, do you have any? I know this might be a little bit short for a bigger series like this, but do you have any last words about Promised Neverland? I know, obviously, even if you don't necessarily say anything, that a lot of people may check it out. But if you do want to convince some of the non-believers out there, what would you say?
I don't know. I mean, it's like the second most popular thing this season, right? Besides
I mean, it's very big.
fucking Shield Hero, right? So
Yeah, it has the credentials to back it up. I mean,
Don't you mean Mob Psycho Season 2?
Don't you mean Overlord Season 6?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the show has it's got the visuals, it's got the staff, it's got it's got the voice actors, it's got some pretty big names in there, right? Like Uchida Maya's there. Some others are there. I mean, it's a it's a good show, right?
Right.
I'd
I mean,
say,
the core material, the source material, is very solid.
yeah, I mean, it's
What would you say
award,
about the pacing? Just
it's
like real
award
quick.
winning. I think it's solid, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty. I mean, it's a pretty brisk pace,
Mhm.
right? Like episode 1, they immediately set up like, that like they have to escape.
Right,
Um,
right.
and so I think like just by doing that alone, um, I don't know if the manga did that, like, fucking just immediate, like, by the way, this kid's fucking dead. They need to escape, right?
Right, more
But
like immediate rest kind of setting.
yeah, they did that like immediately in the first episode, and I think that alone let them, it gives them so much more time to just like play the thriller game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think a lot of series they're very slow to do that, right? They're
Mm.
so focused on like the build up of even revealing like that there is a mystery um afoot that like they run out of time to be like, by the way, we need to solve this mystery. Um so yeah, it's pretty briskly paced. It's on episode 7 right now. I pretty sure at least I got up to episode 7. That was the only amount of episodes that I could find. Um it seems like I think it's a 12 episode series. It seems like it's probably just going to get through the first arc where they, get out of the orphanage, and then they're like, shit, now we have to like actually find where we're going. So it's probably gonna it's probably gonna be a big fucking cliffhanger ending.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate because, I'm not too sure if this is gonna get a season 2. But yeah, it's a good show. Uh it's I don't know if I want to say it's the best this season because Dororo is really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean it's up there for sure.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, all the thing is like this season is very bifurcated. I think the top series are like very, very, very interesting, but the not top series are something else. Let's
Yeah.
just say that.
Yeah, it's a very polarizing season.
Yeah,
But yeah, this show's good. If you like mystery series, or honestly, if you just like uh a good story in an anime, right? Like it's
Mhm.
solid. It's a good show.
Okay. So again, thank you very much for helping to cover Promised Neverland. Again, if you do like sort of like thriller series, uh, please do check it out. It's not gonna have all that much like action fighting or whatever, but it's still very like dramatic. It still has a mystery. It still has the excitement. So please do check it out. And with that, we are moving on to the news. So a little bit of a quieter 2 weeks these past some days, but we'll get through that pretty quickly. A lot of sort of stuff that I actually do want to talk about also in these news segments. So first off, the official the official English Twitter account for the television anime of Aneko Usagi's The Rising of the Shield Hero, Tate no Yusha no Nariagari, fantasy light novel series announced on Wednesday that it will begin debuting the first 6 episodes of the anime's English dub at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Each episode will debut 15 minutes apart. Future dubbed episodes will debut on the same days as the English subtitle simulcast episodes. Crunchyroll is referring to the series as a quote-unquote instant dub. And when they say instant dub, they're not joking. They literally, some guys tweeted out, like, I think the voice actors for the English dub tweeted out that they were trying to they were, rolling out the dub an hour before the broadcast, essentially, right?
So isn't that called a simul dub? Simul dub?
No, simuldub just means they're releasing the dub in the same season.
Right.
That's why like most dubs are like 5 episodes, such because
Yeah,
they start weeks late.
right. This I don't approve of this. I'm just like,
What?
no,
Why
like, what could go wrong, guys? An hour, just do the dub an hour before. Everything is perfect, easy. Oh Jesus! But I just Crunchyroll, why you gotta do this shit? Honestly, it's actually Like, it's actually kind of maddening, but we'll see how it goes. There are some people on Twitter that are pretty excited about it for some unknown reason, but whatever. Next piece of news. Some numbers. Everybody loves numbers.
I don't.
So, top selling light novel in Japan, January 2019. This list covers sales surveys from January 14th to February 11th, 2019. So this is just going down the list a little bit. Number 1, Classroom of the Elite, newest novel. Number 2, Danmachi, Sword Oratoria. Sword Oratoria, oh my god. Number 3, The Promised Neverland, Mamatachi no Tsuiso Kyoku. Number 4, Eromanga Sensei, newest versions. When I'm going through each of these series, it'll just be the newest novels out. Eromanga Sensei. Number 5, Sword Art Online. Number 6, Tondemos Kyu de Isekai Horomeshi. This thing is really popular. Jesus Christ. Number 7, ReZero. Number 8, Danmachi the Original. This is like the... You guys remember when Magi came out, and then later on, Sinbad no Boken, Sinbad's Adventure, ended up becoming more popular than Magi. It's kind of like that at this point. Number 9, Spice and Wolf. And number 10, Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor, or Rokutenashi Majutsu Koshi to Akashic Records. So those are the most popular stuff. As for the top selling comics, again in the same time frame, January 14th to February 11th, 2019, we have number 1, Kingdom. Number 2, The Promised Neverland. Doing strong there. Number 3, The Seven Deadly Sins, Nanatsu no Taizai. Number 4, Black Clover. Number 5, Ace of Diamond Act 2. Number 6, Skip Beat. Number 7, Gintama. Number 8, Kaguya-sama Love is War. Number 9, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. And number 9, Snow White with the Red Hair, also known as...
Akagame to Shiroyuki Hime, is that the one?
Yes, Akagami no Shiroyuki Hime, excuse me. So, that's sort of how it goes. So here are the numbers there. Next, a little bit on the business front. First off, Japan's Securities and Exchange Surveillance Commission reported on February 13th that anime studio DLE listed in the first section, or top tier of exchange for large companies, of the Tokyo Stock Exchange after reporting inflated sales from falsified transactions. The Securities and Exchange Service Commission recommended that Japan's financial services industry fine DLE 135.4 million yen, or about 1.22 million US dollars, for violating Japan's financial instruments and exchange law. According to the Securities and Exchange Surveillance Commission, DLE and Protection Committee investors for its anime films used falsified transactions related to video production. They reportedly submitted marketable securities reports from around 2014 to 2018 that showed excess sales of about 2.3 billion yen and an inflated income of about 600 million yen. So they've made very small series relatively, such as, Ore Tacha Yokai Ningen, Thermai Romai, Hayoru, Nyaru Ani, and this is, I believe, the net animation version of Hayoru Nyaruko-san, if I remember correctly. And it's like a lot of like other various like small, almost like net animation tier stuff. So don't do securities frauds, friends. Or don't do stock manipulation stuff. Second, this might be of interest to some people. The February 22nd issue of the National Printing Bureau's Kanpo publication revealed that toy company Banpresto has been dissolved and combined with Bandai Namco Holdings' toy and hobby subsidiary Bandai Spirits. Bandai Spirits has taken over all rights and duties from the former company. So, I mean, this is Banpresto, I believe, one of the more known, I want to say, figure companies, right? I'm not wrong, right?
They
And
make prize figures.
yeah, prize figures. So they've been dissolved and combined with Bandai Spirits. So that'll be pretty interesting to see what if anything comes from that.
Yeah, maybe like 700 more figures to flood the Ami Ami front page every.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, they'll probably just use them to make Dragon Ball figures, right? Because that's mostly what Banpresto already does, right? So
Yeah.
they just have,
Yeah. But yeah. So next piece of news here. More news on the sort of Japanese government and them trying to, crack down on piracy, crack down on XYZ stuff, very ineffectively. A subcommittee of Japan's Council for Cultural Affairs agreed on a plan on Wednesday to create comprehensive laws banning the practice of knowingly downloading all illegal media from the internet. Japan's Agency of Cultural Affairs already announced its plans to propose laws and penal sentences against downloading manga, magazines, novels, essays, and photographs. Current laws only punish the consumer of pirated media in cases where the media in question is music or video, so the proposed revisions would expand the current laws. So it's essentially just trying to give as much power to the company as people trying to crack down as possible. The subcommittee acknowledged the difficulty in enforcing such laws, as they will target acts that are part of many people's daily lives. The meeting saw calls to limit enforcement to cases where the need is high to fend off piracy. That's so stupid. This is like this. Oh,
If you download all of the box set,
yeah, exactly.
slap on the cuffs. But if you only downloaded 4 or 5 episodes,
It's okay.
you're cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those
and
cases,
the thing
these
is,
cases may include those where an entire manuscript is downloaded, where somebody is guilty of repeated offenses, or when real harm is done to the copyright. But what does that mean? Like real harm is done to copyright holder? Like that's the problem. Like this gives way too much like power to when the copyright holder can just call out stuff, right?
I mean, in general, the idea, like the fact that someone can sit there and say these things, this might cause a problem because it's part of like a lot of people's everyday lives. And it's like, yeah, you think that maybe the problem is that people are pirating your shit over buying it because it's way too fucking expensive?
No.
You think maybe that might be the issue?
No, that's
No?
completely irrelevant, Dark.
Wrong? Shut up.
Don't. Shh. And they're obviously trying to up the ante against leech sites, so on and so forth. But and we'll see how this goes. This is a very inefficient way to go about it. So we'll see if this changes any sort of like structure down the road. Last piece of news, and this is more relevant to what I kind of mentioned earlier on when I was talking about Phantasy wa Miteiru, or Virtual-san is looking. TV Tokyo announced on Thursday that it will air a new series named Watanuki-san Chi no, or Watanuki's House, that will center on virtual YouTubers or VTubers, characters popularized via videos on streaming services and user-generated content sites. The series will star VTubers Toki no Sora and Hibiki Ao, as well as new VTuber Saruga Kucho Futaba, and will premiere on TV Tokyo's Drama 25 time slot on April 19th. TV Tokyo claimed that the show is the first quote-unquote drama series to star VTubers. Note, in Japanese, the word quote-unquote drama in the katakana alphabet is usually used to refer to live-action shows, but the VTubers and the backgrounds in Watanuki-san Chino are rendered in CG. So, in the story, the 3 VTubers will play the roles of the Watanuki sisters, who live together in one house in the Shitamachi area of Tokyo after they lost their parents. The series will show the heartwarming everyday lives of the sisters. So this is a much more, like, I guess, focused series, but it's still using just like the regular like virtual YouTuber models and stuff. So this is the thing I was talking about, like this sort of stuff happening.
It's really weird.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I mean, at this point, aren't they just creating shitty CG anime? Like that's my question, right?
Yes.
But people are just eating it up because virtual YouTubers. Like that. This is what I'm afraid of, right? Like.
That is fucking bizarre. Like when you were saying that, I thought that the virtual YouTubers were already supposed to be sisters, not that they're just like random virtual YouTubers that they were like,
Yeah,
we're gonna cast
virtual
you.
YouTubers
in
are
this."
quote
Like,
unquote acting in a CG world. So it's like the live action equivalent of virtual YouTuber stuff. Does that make sense?
we're hitting fucking critical math, dude.
Yeah. See, okay, this is what I'm afraid of.
Wait,
Like,
what?
the models are still essentially the same
We
as
need to
their virtual
we
YouTuber
need to
stuff.
like
Session.
time out. Yeah, we need to time out because like
What?
they're not real. There are real people behind these. These are not the people.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't
can't-
prove
I'm
that.
so
You can't be
I'm
like we're gonna
so
cast
lost.
them.
you're like we're Nier is already like we're in too deep mode right now.
Yeah, it's
So
like
are
the
they.
models aren't definitive.
Are
That's why
they vir-
Kazuna Ai has quote unquote voiced things in anime.
Whatever, man.
The thing I'm worried about is this. Like this normalizes, in a sense, like shitty CGI, like just using whatever garbage, virtual YouTuber tech and being like, yeah, we'll just have these like models flopping around. Like this is
I
okay.
mean, it
Do
only
people
really,
like this,
you know,
right?
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna buy stuff for this because that's what hardcore virtual YouTuber fans do. They're just gonna lap it up because it has,
I mean, it could work
Tokinosora.
as literally a YouTube series, but it also has to involve pretty predominant virtual YouTubers. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would watch a series like that's supposed to be like a full fucking drama, but it's
Yeah.
just Kizuna Ai and Kaguya Luna's fucking regular models. And
Go also at like 30 FPS.
no, yeah, Kizuna Ai is 60, is like the full
But
regular,
Kage
but
Luna
Luna
has to
is
be running at
30.
30. That would be so good. Oh my
Isn't
god.
this just a rehash of Minami K? But with
I
virtual
mean,
YouTubers?
there are a lot of series around, sisters just living in a house. But
Well, name a more famous one than Minami K.
no, you're right. But
Do it.
no, I'm saying
There
that
isn't one, so
yeah, there isn't one more famous than Minami. That's why I'm saying you're right in pointing out that Minami is a sister series, but there are other sister series. Like,
Well, then name them, because I can't think of any.
fucking
Kiss Exist does not count.
not. Oh fuck, man, I can't think of something right now.
What are we talking about?
But well, going back to the virtual YouTuber stuff, I hope this doesn't become a normalization and slash a trend, because it's like I really don't want to see just like random quote unquote live action virtual YouTuber stuff that's just virtual YouTubers flopping around in bad CG. Like, please.
What if they did? What if they did virtual YouTubers in the real world?
God, they've already started
they
doing
did
that.
that.
Like,
That was the Alita fucking it.
That's already
No,
Kizuna Ai, you know?
no. I mean, like virtual YouTubers, but they're not virtual anymore. You know?
they're
So it's the
just
voices
you just have a
behind
mask. No, you just put the people that are voicing them in like outfits that are like the mascot outfits for
Yeah,
and they just walk
It's-
around.
it's real YouTubers.
Yeah.
Whoa!
You realize that
like Ninja.
From
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
you realize that a lot of virtual YouTubers right now, like the trend is like they're just going out to like real life spots or like having like real life vacations or whatever, and they're just putting like the virtual reality models onto them. Like you know how some apps can do AR stuff, and they just have they project like the models onto whatever surface they're on, right?
Oh shit, a Snapchat filter?
Yeah, that sort of thing. But they're essentially doing that, but with all the virtual YouTuber models. I'm just like, oh my god! I know that there's gonna be like sooner or later there's gonna be some sort of stupid fucking talk show where just every episode they're just gonna have some virtual YouTuber trot out to some vacation spot and just talk about that shit.
Beauty docs, dude.
God damn it!
Why do you
Anyway.
think Kaguya Luna is worried about getting fat? She's probably sneaking around as we speak.
Yeah, sneaking around with her bags of strong zero.
Yeah, she has to be careful not to eat Justin Bieber. but yeah, hopefully this doesn't become too much of a negative or a slippery slope trend. But we can only hope. Anyways, a little couple of people news before we move on. First of all, update on voice actress Ueda Kata. So she a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of weeks back, we said that Kano Ueda was hospitalized after having to leave an event due to her poor health. This was the first time that she had been hospitalized. But now she has revealed on her Twitter account that she has left the hospital. She also said that on her official blog on Sunday that her physical condition is improving and she is returning to her normal life. So please wish her a very speedy recovery and no more incidents like this. I know a lot of people are definitely worried, as one would be upon hearing the sort of news from such a prolific actor.
but she's still not attending the fake Grand Order American Expo, so there's no reason for me to go there anymore. Who cares about Gillette de Reyes?
Yeah. Cool.
I want Ishtar,
Gotta get Psycho
And-
no Cool, dude.
but
Yeah.
he's not as good as Arestigal.
Yeah. All right. Well, next piece of news here. The official website of SB Creative Corp's Tugikiru label announced last Friday that light novel author Sakuya passed away on January 27th. According to Sakuya's Twitter account, Sakuya suffered from a cerebral hemorrhage in 2017 and was hospitalized for a long period of time and was later receiving medical care at home. The episode left Sakuya's left side paralyzed. Oh, this cut and paste. So this is why the ending was so abrupt. Okay. Because I've actually read this one. So Sakuya's debut work, The Cut and Paste de Kono Sekai de Ikiteru, or I Survived in This World, the cut and paste story, launched on the Shousetsuka ni Naro, or Let's Become Novelist website in September 2016, with the latest chapter published on December 21st, 2018. The story won the Tugikuru Books Grand Prize. The first print novel debuted in August 2017. The third volume shipped last November, and with the fourth volume slated for May. It is unfortunate that he passed. Condolences to his friends and family. Next piece of news. Artist and illustrator Ugume posted on Twitter on February 13th that they had visited the hospital after falling unconscious in the bathroom. Ugume had mentioned that they also fell unconscious after having their blood drawn and had to undergo an ECG test but went home afterward. In another post, Ugume said that they were fine but would probably require more detailed tests. This artist has previously provided character designs for the Conclave franchise, including the art for the Furutaka class characters, which include Furutaka and Kako, the Kuma class characters, Kuma, Tama, Kiso, and the Shimushu class characters, Shimushu and Kunashiri. Ugume also drew the character designs for the Drive Girls PlayStation Vita game. So please wish him hopefully nothing serious and the speediest of recoveries.
He also does the art, the covers for East New Sound, if you know what that is.
Yeah. So moving on, the organizers of the 13th Annual Seiyu Awards announced the winners of the Merit Award, Kei Tomiyama Award, Kazue Takahashi Award, and Synergy Award on Tuesday. These are not all the awards, these are just some of the awards being announced. Merit Award for the Seiyu who have contributed to many genres, including foreign works over the years, goes to Kenichi Ogata, who did stuff Shishimaru and Ninja Hattori-kun, Professor Agasa and Detective Conan, so on and so forth. Hiseko Kyoda, who did Genkai and Yu Yu Hakusho, and the narrator in Yokai Watch. Now, Kei Tomiyama Award for the male performer who broadened the profession of voice acting in every form of media, goes to Yamaguchi Kape, who did Usopp in One Piece, Shinji Kudo, and Kaito Kid in Detective Conan. Kazue Takahashi Award for the female performer who broadened the profession of voice acting in every form of media, goes to Kanai Mika.
Kananazawa.
Shut the fuck up. Who did Melon Pana in Soreika Anpanman, and Tifa Adil in After War Gundam X, and Kaguya Sumeragi in Code Geass. Synergy Award for works that best show the talent of voice actors. The award goes to Pop Team Epic. The award ceremony, which will reveal the full list of awardees, will be held at the Bunka Hoso Media Plus Hall on March 9th. So, starting last year, the Special Merit Award, which honors deceased voice actors and actresses who have contributed to many genres, was replaced with an honoring of all voice actors and actresses who passed away in the previous year.
You know who Kappei Yamaguchi is, Fire?
Who?
That's the voice actor for Ranma 1/2.
Oh, okay.
Also Inuyasha. You know who that is.
Yes, I do. But that's pretty good. Final piece of person news. The Tokyo District Public Prosecutor's Office announced that actor Hirofumi Arai was indicted on February 21st on a charge of sexually assaulting a masseuse at his home. Oh yeah, this was a continuation of the story from before, I think. Prosecutors did not reveal whether Arai has admitted to the charge. Police arrested Arai on February 1st due to allegations of sexual assault involving rape. According to the investigation, Arai sexually assaulted a woman in her 30s at about 2:30 a.m. on July 1st after she came to his apartment to give him a massage. So the rest of the news is just, different sponsors and companies just canceling stuff. Arai made his acting debut in 2001 and appeared in works such as the Blood and Bones films and NHK's Taiga drama series Tanada Maru. He has also appeared in live action films such as Gintama, Bakuman, and Space Brothers. So hopefully this all gets figured out, and if he did, and if the allegation is true, he should be brought to justice. So that's all the news we had for today, and we are finally moving on to.
I got news.
Do you want to share it with us, Toast?
I forgot what it was. Let me scroll up.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
you already mentioned it before, but I'm gonna mention it again.
Okay. What is it?
Y'all like basket fruits, right? Well, they're
Fruit baskets. Yeah.
Funimation's doing for a special screening of the first 2 episodes before it comes out on March 26th, if you like the English dub, and then the subs are on March 27. You can buy tickets.
Yeah.
I don't remember Fruits Basket that much, but they're apparently reprising some English voice actors, and
Yeah.
you get a cup, a lanyard, and some pins as gifts.
Yeah. If you haven't at least, I mean, obviously you don't have to get super into it or something like that, but please, if you haven't before, at least I guess please do check out Fruits Basket. It is a very significant series in terms of like, I want to say, like in terms of series that appeared in the late '90s to the 2000s.
You know the
2000s. It is a
Oran.
very significant series.
You know the Oran host high school club group. This is before them.
I mean, that's not why I brought it up. But the point is, in terms of like sales, in terms of the impact it had on generations of later mangaka, the impact it had in terms of manga like fan base and sales, and even overseas, it did have a very significant impacts just as a single franchise. So please do check it out at least if you have time.
Is this the original Zodiac War Spire?
Shut up. Anyways,
yeah, Spire. I won't be on the podcast those days. I'm gonna go watch it.
Thank you, Toast. We are finally moving on to the shoutouts and callouts. So that everybody here gets one shoutout and one callout. And a shoutout is something that you want to praise to the heavens, give 10 out of 10, 5 stars, excellent rating, order on Amazon Prime for next day shipping, so on and so forth. Could be any person, place, or thing. And a call out is the exact opposite, something that you want to insult, something that you are so angry, so salty about. Maybe the recent 20 loss streak in Shadowverse, you cannot hold your wrath inwards, and it can be again any person, place, or thing. And we'll start with Toast.
Why me? All right.
I just picked a random person.
My shout out is to Puso Comi, I guess.
Okay.
That's cool. Puso Komi got me motivated enough to get my 15-star light stream on PSO2. So now I am the big damage. Unlike Dark, who hasn't even started getting his light stream.
Yeah, I don't care until the new class comes out, dude.
You say that, but then you're missing out on the easy material for it.
They'll just make 15 stars even easier drops, and they'll have 15 stars that are tooled to that class.
Like what?
They literally said that they were going to have a set of 15 stars like they had 14 stars.
Well,
so.
Well, you're wrong, so.
I don't know if you remember, but those 14 stars were kind of best weapons for Hero.
Man, there's no screenings for Fruits Basket yet. Maybe I'll check in tomorrow. Anyway, I'll call out. I don't know.
Nice.
My second shout out is to next season's Isekai. We're coming up, boys. Next next season we're gonna have the Isekai killer Isekai coming up.
Shut up. Shut.
What is that even?
I think he's talking about Arifureta, right?
No, that's not. That's not
No.
next. Is it? Let me check. I don't
Isn't
think
it
that's next
spring?
season. No,
Is it summer? Is it
I
spring? I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought it was winter, but
Winter. Oh, did it get pushed back even more?
I don't
Okay.
know. But it's
But anyways, what are you talking about then?
you'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Oh well, there's two Isekai killers, but
Isekai killers. Okay.
I'm talking about Isekai Quartet,
Okay.
Oh,
and then there's the real Isekai killer after that. Yeah, good for me.
Okay. As for
You want to get Spire? What's your shout out and call out?
yeah. My call out I'll do first is for people that is just like they just like say things that like come out of their mouth. I don't even know how to describe that.
Spire. That's what talking is.
Sorry. They just like the filter is not yet fully developed. Is I think how I want to put this, and this is on a variety of subjects. It's like on fighting games, it's on anime, it's on whatever. But uh, especially I want to point out, kind of connecting to Toast discussion about people who just kind of say things about isekai that I'm pretty sure, no, I'm certain that it's more or less a knee-jerk reaction to the isekai series that they've uh, watched in anime over the past couple of seasons, but is not actually any sort of coherent description of what they actually think isekai is like and what how the sort of isekai trend has been developing, is developing, and will develop, especially in the context of Shosetsu, right? The infamous site that we always deride so much on this podcast. Essentially, the fanfiction.net of Japanese in Japan, right? So, because people don't have a coherent idea of this almost ecosystem, right? And they're just trying to say stuff as a sort of reaction to isekai, whether it's based on a smartphone or Knights of Magic or Rising of the Shield Hero or whatever. They're just saying things like, oh, isekai is is only good if it's about revenge, or isekai. Some of these isekais are a parody of isekai because some blah 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 useless crap that's not even evidence. And like just the most just mind numbing things. And I think we should just all like people saying these things just need to take a step back and just I'm not saying that they need to read all of the isekai stuff on Shosetsu. Not by a long shot. That would be terrible. I would never recommend it.
I'll
I've tried to
recommend
do
it.
some.
I will.
No, I've tried to do similar stuff, and that would make you barf.
You're just jealous because the vending machine isekai hasn't had an anime release yet.
Yeah, that's the core of my jealousy. But I'm not saying that they need to like dive into it, but at least like have a sense that this is part of a very, I want to say, not developed, but it's part of a more lengthy history than you might realize. And things are not just, oh, Rising of the Shield here is obviously how isekai is structured. That's not how that works. So that's my call out.
You're just jealous, Spire, because all these isekai are copying the original isekai. So none of them are that original.
Yeah. You got me, Toast.
You know, the original isekai, Alice
Yeah,
in Wonderland, as portrayed by
if you post that stupid video of like why is Alice in Wonderland so popular in Japan or whatever that fucking shit is, I'm going to fucking kill you, dude.
Spire, why do you think the most popular isekai, Sword Art Online, adapted Alice in Wonderland as their is it third season, second, fourth
I don't
season?
know.
As
Um,
they know what's up, Fire. The original isekai meets the most popular isekai, and it creates the best arc in all of Sword Art Online.
Oh my god.
That was
Alright.
called Sword Art Alternative. I'm sorry.
Anyways, my shout out here. My shout out actually goes to Wataten because Wataten has been a pretty like I've been watching a couple of other virtual sun and stuff like that. I've been trying to watch stuff like uh Kotobukiya and like some other series on the season, but whenever I want something that's much more of a just like stable pick, this week I'll have at least one episode that's not complete like garbage in terms of what I'm watching in anime. I can kind of always throw it back to Wataten or Watashi ni Tenshi ga Mayoita, and
Isn't that
that's
an angel fell from heaven or something?
yeah, an angel fell down to me. Yeah,
Isn't that the Uzumaid of this season?
It's
Dark?
succeeding everywhere where Uzumade fails.
yeah.
Is it because she got arrested?
No, it's because Uzumade is droppable.
Yeah, it's the second maid that can. But anyways,
Yeah, well, and you know what's actually funny? To
What?
linger on it too much, but they introduced essentially that character
yeah,
in
yeah,
Wataten with like
yeah,
a stalker friend, but it's
yeah,
actually done significantly better.
yeah. The thing is, the second person in Wataten fills in the plot points of what the main character does. So it's like it kind of works out. But that's a discussion to be had for later. But again, I'm glad that Wataten is becoming a much more stable, has stayed a stable pick for me. So shout outs to that. Anyway, yeah.
Nah, never mind. I won't say it.
Okay. Nier. Shout out to Callouts, please.
Hey, guess what?
Yes.
Well,
What?
Nah, never mind.
God damn it. Fucking Steer, I hate you. What's your fucking shout out, dude?
um. Shit, dude. You know what? Shoutouts to old anime. You know, everything was better when it. Everything's better when it's old. You know.
Like
You
cheese.
feel me? When things get like, I think in like 10 years, I'm gonna look back on like Isekai Smartphone and be like, damn, that was good. That was good anime.
well, actually, to be honest with you, if 10 years from now, all we have is actual YouTubers filling roles for dramas,
For live action isekai.
yeah, you might be right.
Just might, but yeah.
Did you know what? You know what is 10 years old this year? That was really cool.
What?
What?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, especially that Vic Monogna guy. He's
Please
cool.
do not. Don't.
Nope, stop. We're
Don't
not
do
talking
that.
about it.
We're not talking
Move
about
on.
that.
Alright.
But yeah, I've been watching a lot of older stuff lately, past few weeks.
How old? How old are we talking? Give
Like
me
2000, 2002,
Nice.
2001.
Oh my
You know.
God.
That's almost old enough to vote anime.
Yeah, the dark ages. But yeah, there's some good stuff back then, Anime was great. Everything was good back in 2000.
You mean 2011, the peak of anime?
Yeah.
The peak of anime. Jesus.
Back when
Anyway.
Dean was actually competent in their animations.
That
I
I don't think ever happened.
don't know about that one.
I don't know what your history revisionism is like, but
Did you know that Rurouni Kenshin was made by Studio Dean?
Yeah, do you
Wow.
know that Rurouni Kenshin also has some really hideous animation?
Oh wait, no. Rurouni Kenshin was 1998. Nice.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
it still doesn't look very good.
Relative to, yeah, exactly.
To
But
Studio Dean Anime in 2002 is. Let's see. Hold on. Eat? No, not Eat, man. Fruits. Oh, Fruits Basket. Whoa!
yeah, you know what? Honestly, doesn't hold up.
Grave Master.
Anyway, callouts to I don't know.
Oh wow, Nier is not Nier is feeling merciful to, this week. So
Give it.
What
Give,
about Coom?
You know,
You want to call out Coom?
callouts to callouts to fucking Spire.
what we?
Because every time Spire's like, "Hey man, you want to like play fighting games?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, man, I love fighting games.
I love Smash.
I love
Why does
fighting
it
games.
happen
Fighting
every
games
time?
are so fun. I just love them, you know. And then I play game. I play like 3 sets with Spire, and I'm like, I hate fighting games.
Hey,
I wish I never picked up a fighting game ever in my entire life.
I think it's a complete coincidence that that sort of thing happens. I'm just gonna say.
Whatever.
I play a
Dude.
very. Hey, I just I play characters that fit the mood of the moment. Okay.
I bet.
Say that.
I bet Spire would play Snake if he played Smash Ultimate. But he
Or
can't.
villager.
But he can't. That's my character. I play Snake.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, thank you for your shout out to callouts near Dark. Last but not least, what are your shout outs to callouts?
I'm gonna do shout out second because I don't really
Do
But-
two shoutouts. I'll allow it.
know because I don't have one shout out. So
Do two callouts. I'll allow it.
for call out, I'm gonna call out. Actually, no. Okay, so here will be my shout out. I'm gonna cheat. Because my shout out is gonna be a call out. But
Damn.
my shout out is gonna be to Anthem because it's actually pretty solid.
Okay.
And shout out to hypothetically anyone who knows how to actually critique a product properly. Because there have been a lot of quote unquote critiques of Anthem recently.
Are we talking about a certain person with the initials JS here?
Ooh, Cliffy B.
No,
Could be.
no.
Oh, that's something else. Whoops.
No. Just in general, people like.
I mean, the issue is it's in
Here's the thing.
it's in the shadow of Apex Legends, so that's the.
It's not even. It's in essentially like quote unquote the one that people love to compare is Warframe,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like people compare Warframe to this, and then they're like, I mean, fuck, I don't even. Like, there's so much to it that it's like. You see people use the defense like, oh, it's a free to play game, like, oh, it's free, and it's like, well, A, it's not because the studio would have shut down long ago. No game is free, you know. Like when a Warframe comes out, I think it's worth like $20 or something of the currency to rush to buy it right away.
Mhm.
Rushing it is like 10 or something, and that's after you grind the materials, and if not, you have to wait 3 days. And it's like, so you have that, right? So like free to play games, like it's such bullshit when people say free to play games now because it's like, what is $60 isn't that much when the content that's going to be released is available to you directly in game. You know what I mean? Like in Anthem, like let's just put it this way: in Anthem, you can buy all the armor fairly easily, to be honest, for your appearances. In Warframe, you don't even get. You get like 8 colors off the bat, and that's it. And then to unlock more, you have to pay like the dollar, essentially,
Oh my god.
to get more color palettes. but people think it's okay because you can trade in game to get the premium currency. And it's like, well, that doesn't count because someone had to buy it.
Right, exactly.
Like that doesn't mean like that's still not like
Just because
free.
everybody
It's not
doesn't buy
good.
it necessarily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because you didn't have to buy it doesn't mean it's free and that's a good thing.
Right, exactly.
The amount of customization in Warframe that's locked behind paywalls is insane. I mean, every time they release a Prime Warframe, it comes with an accessory pack. That accessory pack is $50 for like minor pieces of armor to attach.
Right, exactly.
Like you don't even get you don't even get the Prime frame. If you want the Prime frame and the armor and the weapon, it's $140. And that's every 3 months.
Yeah,
Like,
that's already
the
reaching like gacha levels essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think Warframe is pretty fair with its monetization, but that doesn't mean that you look at a game that's like $60 and be like, oh, well, there's an in-game market, there's microtransactions. Like, no, I'm not doing that. It's like, yes, if a game has microtransactions and a season pass and loot boxes, et cetera, like that's bad. But if a game launches at 60, your critique shouldn't be, oh, well, it has an in-game market. It's like, I've been playing for 2 days or something. I've gotten enough money to buy 2 of the armor sets, the premium armor sets, in game. And that's just me doing missions, and I'm not even at end game.
Right,
That's me doing missions through the story. I've earned that much. Like in Warframe, you won't come anywhere near the amount you need to get cosmetics in that for like grind per day.
Right.
Especially at being a new player. So I just, in general, I just hate people not being able to critique games properly and thinking that free-to-play games instantly mean it's at some higher like thing and that the devs aren't trying to get money because it's quote free. It's like, well,
right. It doesn't have added value. Right.
Yeah, it's like, well, if it was free, the studio would have closed.
Right.
If no one's paying money, the studio closed.
Right. Exactly.
And then you have to look at, is $60 like that much money? Everything else in the game, if all the updates are free, if armor, if all the cosmetics are going to be able to be obtained through it, like, is that much? Not really when you consider in order to quickly unlock things in Warframe, you're going to be paying a shitload of money. And I like Warframe. I like Warframe a lot. But to try and use it free as any sort of legitimacy is absurd, to say the least. Especially when you consider, and the last thing I'm going to say on this is consider that Warframe's been out for like 7 years now, and they have 250 employees, and they still have not made a good, not even good, they haven't even made a mediocre boss fight in that game. They're all fucking terrible.
Right.
And it's ironic because Anthem has a boss fight that's almost identical to a boss fight in Warframe, and it just shows that, like, this type of boss is clearly designed to be in a very big area, like Anthem gives you, and Warframe doesn't give you that. So all Warframe devolves into is standing point blank in front of it and shooting it in the back, and then just eating damage with invulnerability.
Right.
So basically, like, learn how to fucking actually create something.
Yeah, you have to actually look.
Yeah.
Well,
you do need to actually look.
So what is your favorite or your favorite anthem?
My favorite anthem is the Interceptor. My favorite Warframe is Valkyr. So
Did you get?
You can see the theme here. Huh?
Did you get buffed? I haven't used her in a while.
No, Valkyr's always been strong. She's literally unkillable when she uses her ultimate.
But yeah, unfortunate. But did you have? I mean, you said you want to kind of just call this out, but do you have anything else?
As for a call out, shit, dude. Now I don't even have a call out.
Yeah, because this essentially became like a call out halfway through.
This became a call out.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna do this as a call out, or what?
That's a very good question. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna shout out. Yeah, I'll keep that as call out. I'm gonna shout out, I guess, Girly Air Force for being slightly better than I thought it would be.
Being more like Symphogear than you
Actually,
thought it
no,
would
no,
be.
it's significantly better than I thought it would be. 'cause
Yeah,
thought it
no,
was gonna be
no, definitely.
abysmal,
When
but
both
it's
of
not
us
that
were talking about it in the previews, we were just both like, "What the fuck?" But then, as you said, it ended up becoming much more like Symphogear, right?
Yeah, in a sense, and I hope it continues to grow to that point.
Right. So, at least that panned out pretty well. One of the series that we thought might not do so, but then it ended up being safe. So that's nice. Anyways, thank you for your shout out and callouts, and with that, we are done with episode 113 of 4PlayerAnimecast. Thank you for listening here, and to the both to the viewers here and the listeners out there. If you do like what we do, we stream this every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast. That's with the number 4. Talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, including anime, manga, light novels, web novels, visual novels, games, and much more. So if you do like what we do, please do follow us here. Follow us on our social media, on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter handle 4P at 4PPAnimecast, and Facebook page 4PlayAnimecast. All again with 4. Check out our content in YouTube format on our YouTube channel as well, and 4PlayerAnimecast. We put up our podcasts. And again, follow us on our social media for more updates. We are going to have a couple more episodes of this. I think right now everybody's again in episode 7, episode 8 stage, right? So we'll probably be able to have 1 or 2 more episodes of this. Then we'll have the preview show, and then we'll get right on it pretty much. So watch out for that, and we'll see you next time.